Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Catadactyl. I'm Kat, and today I am going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for January and February 2018. So my first pick is out January 2nd, and it is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. We follow Jude, who was only 7 years old when her parents were brutally murdered, and her two sisters were taken away to the High Fae Court. And of course, this is going to be one of those novels where she's trying to get revenge for her slaughtered family, and she's trying to navigate the High Court and the fairy realm and the magic system. And of course there happens to be a prince who is apparently the wickedest and the evilest of them all. And to win a place at the High Court, she must decide to either defy him or work alongside him to get what she wants. So I'm really looking forward to picking this one up. I am a huge fan of Holly Black, and I love anything dark fae, so I'm just really excited about it. Also out January 2nd is Ink by Alice Broadway, and in this one we follow Leora, who lives in a realm where every important action and every deed and every sin that you've done is carved on your body in the form of a tattoo. And when her father dies, she starts to preserve his skin book and look back upon his life and realizes things that she thought about her father are not turning out to be true, and that he had more mystery and more secrets than she knew of. So I'm really looking forward to this. I love any sort of book that has to do with tattoos or just kind of any sort of magic involving tattoos. I'm also really looking out for Beast Made of Night, which was one of the books that was lost in my mom's birthday box, which never made it to me. Like, cry, cry, cry. But anyway, I am really intrigued by this one, and I can't wait to pick it up in January. So the next book is out January 9th, and it is Robots vs. Fairies by an assortment of authors. This is a collection of short stories and musings on who would win in a battle, fairies or robots, and each one is written by a different author. For instance, Annalee Newitz is in here, Shannon McGuire, so I just think it sounds amazing, and the cover is stunning. Like, look at this cover right now. So I can't wait to pick that one up. I haven't heard much of anything about it. I'm just totally there for the cover and the title and the short story collection, which I think will be a very intriguing and interesting read. Okay, so this next book is out January 23rd, and it is The Sky Is Yours by Chandler Klang Smith. And instead of me trying to summarize it for you, I am just going to read the blurb. I think this is one of those books you just have to, because it sounds like all-encompassing. So without reading it, I don't know how I would be able to tell you adequately. So, okay, here we go. In the burned-out futuristic city of Empire Island, three young people navigate a crumbling metropolis, constantly under threat from a pair of dragons that circle the skies. When violence strikes, reality star Duncan, the spoiled scion of the metropolis's last dynasty, Baroness Swan Lenore Dahlberg, his tempestuous death-obsessed betrothed, and Abby, a feral beauty he discovered tossed out with the trash, are forced to flee everything they've ever known. As they wander toward the scalded heart of the city, they face fire, conspiracy, mayhem, unholy drugs, dragon worshippers, and the monsters lurking inside themselves. Like, how can you not want to read that novel? Also, I'm so intrigued by the cover. I think that this could be either amazing or a complete and utter hot mess. Either one is fine. Dragons. Hashtag dragons. Okay, so this next book is out January 23rd, and it is Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Sadawi. This was originally published in 2013 in Arabic, and it was is going to be published next year in English. So we follow Hadi, who lives in US-occupied Baghdad. Hadi has taken to taking different pieces of blown-apart corpses and sewing them back together in his own creation of a Frankenstein. His goal is to try to get the government to recognize the different pieces of the corpses as people so that they can be given a proper burial. However, weird things ensue and the corpse reanimates itself. I think that this sounds really interesting and will have a lot to say on how bodies are viewed and how occupation is viewed. I am a huge fan of the original Frankenstein, and I think that this unique take on it will be really interesting and politically charged. I'm hoping that it will be good. There were really mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I just couldn't get the idea of it out of my head. So originally it wasn't going to make this list, but I think it kind of just has to, because I'm just intrigued and I just want to read it, like regardless of some of the bad reviews I've read. So yeah, Frankenstein, Baghdad, possible zombification. I'm kind of here for it, and really you have my attention. So my last book out in January is out January 30th, and it is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Semelis. We follow 17-year-old Evan, who is coming to grips with his own sexuality and how he thinks that he is starting to like boys, and the way in which he deals with his family. They are very strict conservative Greek, and he is kind of being pressured at home in a lot of different ways, so he is taken to drawing in an abandoned church. And one of the things that he's coming to realize is that his best friend Henry is starting to look cuter and cuter as the summer goes on. So I think that this will just be an amazing book, and it's giving me feelings like, you know, any of Becky Albertalli's stuff. And I really hope that it is along that same vein, like Seven versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda would be amazing. Yeah, so I hope it's a really sweet coming of age story, and I hope it doesn't break my heart too bad. Yeah, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. So as we break into my February most anticipated reads, the next book doesn't have an exact publication day. It just says February 2018, and I'm talking about The Steel Woman's Gift by Sally Magnuson. So this is another one of those books that the blurb is really complex, and I think that I would completely butcher it if I wasn't looking at the blurb itself. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys, and this way I won't get any of the dates wrong or any of the numbers wrong, because I really don't like something that is really specific if I like butcher it and make it more vague than it is. So here we go. In 1627, Barbary pirates raided the coast of Iceland and abducted some 400 of its people, including 250 from a tiny island off the mainland. Among the captives sold into slavery in Algiers were the island pastor, his wife, and their 3 children. Although the raid itself is well documented, little is known about what happened to the women and children afterwards. It was a time when women everywhere were largely silent. In this brilliant reimagining, Sally Magnuson gives a voice to Asta, the pastor's wife. Enslaved in an alien Arab culture, Asta meets the loss of both her freedom and her children with the one thing she has brought from home: the stories in her head. Steeped in the sagas and folktales of her northern homeland, she finds herself experiencing not just the separations and agonies of captivity, but the reassessments that come in any age when intelligent eyes are open to other lives, other cultures, and other kinds of loving. So actually, I really want to read this book, mainly because I don't know anything about the history of Iceland or about the raids or about the lives of the people that were taken on the raids. I have not even heard of them actually before this book, so for that I'm a little ashamed. And I feel like while it is a great book and that it's getting really great reviews, I also feel like I have a gap in my history, especially concerning Iceland and the raids, so that's something I need to remedy. So the next book on this list is out February 1st, and it is The Word for Woman is Wilderness by Abby Andrews. And in this one we follow Erin, who is 19 years old and has never really left England or where she has grown up. So as she is watching TV and the media and different things like that, she realizes that the only people who ever seem to go on adventures are male. And not only that, but very like rugged and kind of Bear Grylls type male adventures. So she decides to set out into the Alaskan wilderness as a one-woman expedition team. And from there she charts her journey and different things she learns about global warming hypotheses and natural systems and kind of the world around her. And I think that it sounds fascinating. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that it is kind of following on the tail end of Wild in a more scientific and introspective way. So I love kind of walkabout books, and I've read a whole bunch, some of which I was not so impressed with, and some which I really loved, i.e. Wild by Cheryl Strayed, and a few others as well who more documented the trail and less so like their back history. But regardless, I love expedition books, and I love ones especially written by women because there are so few of them. I'm really hoping to get to this one, and it sounds absolutely amazing, and I love the title because I really do think that women can be just as wild and just as fearsome as men. So yeah, I am highly anticipating that one. So the next book up is out February 8th, and it is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And this one has been blurbed a lot. There's a lot of hype surrounding it. And essentially, there is a house party being thrown, and at the end of the party, there's a shot fired, and Evelyn Hardcastle, the young daughter of the house, is killed. And Aiden, who is one of the guests invited to the house party, has to solve her murder. The only catch is that every time he doesn't solve it, he is reincarnated into the mind of another one of the guests. So the only way for him to get out of the cycle is to solve the murder. So I hope that this is much more Inception and way less Groundhog Day, because Groundhog Day I'm not such a fan of, and Inception I'm a massive fan of. So we shall see how it goes. I've heard great things about it. Like I said, it's been really hyped up. So I am anticipating it, but like a weary kind of like, is the hype worth it type anticipation. So we'll see, I guess. Okay, and the last book on this list is probably one of my current most anticipated of all of 2018, and it is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. So in this one we follow a girl named Anna, who it is said she is both a scoundrel and an outlaw. As a child, she was found abandoned, floating in space with a illegal type of android, and she is adopted by a grizzled crew. So I am just getting massive Titan AE vibes, and if you don't know what Titan AE is, I'm just gonna put it right here and you should go watch it because it's so amazing. But yeah, and so her beloved android keeps glitching, and so she finds coordinates to a ship floating in space that might have all the answers, and as she's going, then a rival gang basically steals the coordinates. And then it's like they're racing toward each other, and then there's like people coming in from the other side trying to like get at them, and I think it's just gonna be amazing. I can't wait. It comes out February 27th, and I am so ready for it. Oh my god, I can't wait. This wraps up my most anticipated reads for January and February 2018. Or if you have any other that you think are kind of in the realm of books that I would like, please do recommend them to me. I'm always on the hunt for books, and I keep a running list of books that like aren't out yet, but I should definitely buy when they are out. So yeah, please let me know. And if you liked this video, then please give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot, or I will chat to you in the comments down below. Either way, I'm going to wrap this up now and just say, have a nice day. Toodles!